Hello friends, it's Matt here, and today I'm going to take a look at a new disc that is sweeping all around the internet, and that is the beautiful new Etowah PD, the Nordic Phenom 2. Take a look at that stamp. We got a couple of links roaring away with some mountain pyramid things in the background. Looks pretty awesome. I had got the teal and pink version, thought it was really pretty, and I thought it'd be great to do a video on this one compared to my favorite PD run, which was an Etowah made run, and one of the early team series, as far as I know, the Avery Jenkins Dark Maul 2. So we got Nordic Phenom 2 versus Dark Maul 2. This is a color glow C-line, and the Dark Maul was known to be a pretty overstable PD. C-line, super flat. I would compare this one to similar stability to your stock run Firebirds these days, but actually maybe holds up to torque a little better, but doesn't fade super hard. And the rep on the Nordic Phenom 2 is that it's a pretty mellow run of PD. And if you take a look at the profile, I think the shoulder and dome might support that idea. So I took it out to a couple courses. I actually got to play Cedar Hill in Nashville, one of the Music City Open courses, I think just for the AM side. I don't know if the pros play there, but it was very cool. And then I also took it out to Etowah because I use a PD type disc a lot on that course, whether that be Mad Cat when I was with Lone Star. The Komodo is what I throw in a lot of those holes now, but PD historically was what I used to throw in a lot of those holes before I had any sponsor affiliation. So it was kind of cool to throw one again. I've always been a fan of the PD, usually the Etowah made ones, but I've got a couple of the new Trilogy made ones, and they are pretty darn solid. So let's check them out and see what we think. Starting out at Cedar Hill, this is hole 1, pumping that PD down there, trying to get around that little clump of trees, and it whacks it, but was holding the line really well. Now with the Nordic Phenom, kind of screwed up that one, but it ends up actually down by the pin, skipping along the ground. Trying to backhand through that tunnel and trying to get it to fade a pretty good bit. The Dark Maul gets up there in a pretty good position, but the extra glide of the Nordic Phenom 2 really gets it in a good spot to putt here. Trying a nice, easy uphill forehand. The Dark Maul puts it in the circle, got a putt there. And then the Nordic Phenom didn't look quite as good out of the hand, but it skips along the ground and parks that hole. Trying to do a nice high flex on this uphill shot, and it clips that tree. Not too happy with that. But the flight was good, and the Nordic Phenom 2 just shows a little bit of extra turn, and it's able to get up there, and it's putting even though it hit that tree. So in this one, I'm trying to get through this tunnel and then around that tree. That's where the basket is, and it gets close, but gets stuck on that tree a little bit. Put a little bit more heat on the Nordic Phenom this time, and it got to a good spot. PD riding that hyzer line down there, and this one was straight parked. It was on the pin. Nordic Phenom, with just a little bit of extra glide, it feels like, hits the top of the basket right there and skips about 40 past, unfortunately. Hopping over to Etowah on hole 1, the Dark Maul gets down there, and I got to look for the putt, and the Nordic Phenom actually was a little bit better in the air, but didn't get quite as lucky on sticking the landing. I overturned the Dark Maul here, but if you check it out right there, it actually kicks right under the basket. Very lucky shot, but worked perfectly. And then took a little bit off the Nordic Phenom, just about had the ace, but it sticks on the hill right behind the basket. Trying it on this tunnel shot on 5, you want it to hyzer right there, and it does perfectly with the Dark Maul. And the Nordic Phenom didn't get quite as much ground play, but it's still in the circle. On 6 here, Nordic Phenom actually was way too straight. It goes way long and way past where it needed to be. But the Dark Maul holds the line perfectly. It's a little long of the basket, but in the circle. On this one, Dark Maul skips up that hill perfectly. It's not a long shot, but got to put some pop on it. And I feel like the Nordic Phenom might have been even better, but I clipped that tree. On this one, you're trying to go out around this OB tree, and the Dark Maul just skips up the hill. Really good position there. Same line, except not quite as high with the Nordic Phenom, but it's actually a little bit closer. So on 16 here, I'm trying to keep it low, get skipping along there, and the PD hits a tree, but still in the circle. And the Nordic Phenom pures that gap. It's a little high, but drops down right by the pin. On 17, you're trying to play kind of a wide hyzer there. I don't get this one quite high enough. It's a great line and would have been good, but it hits this Guardian rock that stops it. So I kind of corrected with the Nordic Phenom, got it a little bit higher and a little bit wider, and it just plops down and skips right up to the basket. So in general, the Nordic Phenom was a little glidier than the Dark Maul, but not much less stable. It is some less stable. On that big downhill hole, number 17 at Cedar Hill, the Dark Maul was parked straight up under the basket, and you can't see it really, but the Nordic Phenom 2 hit the top of the basket. It goes chink and went like 40 feet down the hill because it was a little bit extra glidey and stayed in the air. Overall, I think you can't go wrong with either one of them, except for the fact that one of these is about 25 bucks these days, and one of these is a little more than that. So if you want a really cool looking signature line PD, I would not discourage you from that one. I don't think it's really terribly different from the normal C-line PDs in stability, but it probably does have a little more glide, especially on really poppy backhand throws. I was getting it out there pretty good. So do like it. I think the halo-y plastic is really cool. I guess basically similar to Orbit. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day.